That's good because then otherwise you'll just make everybody deaf.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We want actually people to actually hear what you have to say.
I'm chewing the last of my Hoth. I'm having such a fucking go of it the last word.
Do you have this every season?
Yeah, but I've never had this shit. That's why, like...
Sinex. Vicks Sinex. So Vicks send the check.
There is no check.
They have to send something. We're promoting them.
They should send something. But I believe in this product so much that this one's on me.
So you're going to send them multiple checks.
No, dude.
They're like, this guy bought our product.
I'm going to buy a lifetime supply of this shit. It is so fucking good.
He bought cases, but for some reason he keeps sending us checks. I don't understand what the deal is. Are you trying to get up on me? Yeah, get some height on there. Oh, it's over. You're like a gargoyle.
Man.
This table's low, though.
Oh,
Now I got to make sure you're against frame still. Yeah, you're good.
I'm good.
You're good. You're good. And look, and the magic, I was going to say, the magic of the mic is you could just move it around and do your thing.
It's beautiful. I think I'm in frame.
You're definitely in frame.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. We'll be able to cut beautiful clips of you.
Better.
So it's every allergy season you just get annihilated by allergies?
Yeah, pretty much.
My boy Tyler is exactly like that every season.
Yeah, I get, swollen face, glands, all the above.
All the stuff you want.
Yeah, rubby eyes, all that shit.
I'm pretty good in the different seasons.
I'm like Kleenex's biggest customer.
Really?
For all the wrong reasons.
Is it a combo deal, Kleenex and Lubriderm?
It's not. No, just Kleenex.
Just Kleenex.
I'm getting my old man on, like at the point where I have to put tissues under my watch when I go out.
Like, no.
I've been making fun of old people for doing that shit for ages, and like I just crossed the threshold.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no turning back once you start doing that.
There is none.
You're gonna be a handkerchief guy, aren't you?
I am a handkerchief guy now.
right in the pocket square.
Right, but like I'm looking for like throw up green colors to match the mucus.
That's good.
I feel like
because I feel like the people that don't match the color of the mucus to the actual handkerchief, right? It just looks horrible.
It is horrible. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Just first podcast back in a couple of weeks. I gotta start busting these down again, man.
I do want to say, I do want to congratulate you for all of you listeners out there. I do want to congratulate you, Nick, on all your success and knowing you, from the CCP days and watching all you've accomplished. Really, congratulations.
I appreciate you for real. I do. Yeah. We got a long road ahead of us. It's just the beginning. Just getting warmed up, as I always say. Yeah. We got to keep being. I just put a Terrence Ruffin. He's one of the big names in bodybuilding. I just put up one of his clips from his podcast with me months ago. I finally have a couple of people that are just trying to help out and get some clips out. Mm-hmm. So I'm sending them the episodes. They're cutting clips up for me. So I put one up this morning, and the biggest thing that I took away from that podcast with him was always being a student. Yeah. And I think that's huge for me. Obviously, it's huge for you and the multiple ventures that you go through. Yeah. You're not just in one field, you're in many. Right. Well,
the common misconception is like academia is relegated to just school. It's not. It's fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
You look anywhere, you could learn something.
I mean, how many business deals and how many sit downs with business professionals or even just regular people have taught you life lessons?
Everything.
It's not just a cookie cutter thing that this is the way you learn it, this is the way you have to do it. You get the experience from just being in life, the game.
That's exactly right.
So I appreciate you. It's been quite the journey going from, and I say this to everybody because I went from sales. Well, prior to that, I went from retail to B2C sales to B2B/B2C with you guys, and then right to doing my own thing. Mm-hmm. And no one kind of prepares you that, you don't get a check every Friday anymore. Right. Yeah. Like if you're not performing, there's no money. Right. Like there's nothing that comes in. Yeah. So it was culture shock for about 3-4 months there.
Look, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. You sit around and collect a paycheck. You can get very comfortable in a predictable world. But, case in point, I'm a student of the recession, right? So in 2007 to 2008, watching real citizens like struggle to find work because they all got laid off, and trying to raising capital in a recession was just impossible. But you see real people lose grip on like what that predictability feels like, because now they have no income, they've got no paycheck, they've got and they've got real financial issues. So working for yourself is really not for everyone. But again, I think the real thing to consider is the fact that just because you're cushy and comfortable in a job, getting a paycheck doesn't mean it's going to be there forever, and you're always at somebody else's, I guess, will. Is that the right way to phrase it? Yeah.
I think that's a common misconception that a lot of people don't understand, which is, I mean, right in. I mean, it's perfect. It's for years I thought that was kind of the way to be, and not that I wouldn't start my own thing at some point and work for myself in theory, but I always felt like if I was working for a company, a Best Buy, an Apple, something. If I was working for the company, I'm safe, I'm secure, I'm good.
Right.
But then as you grow, you start to realize that not so much, because if there's a restructure, Best Buy went through 2 restructures when I worked there,
and then filed for bankruptcy.
I had no clue
thereafter. Yeah.
No clue what a fucking restructure was. It scared the shit out of me. I was like, what does this mean? Am I going to lose my job? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then I jumped to Apple, and then Apple, it was right before Steve Jobs passed. So I started working with Apple when Steve was there. And then all of a sudden, culture changes happened when Tim Cook came in.
Right.
And then it was like, what are the new positions that they're creating?
Yeah.
There's always shifting going on. So it was a learning experience to me that, even though you're in corporate America, you're not safe. And the same goes for when you work for small businesses in your town, in your state, whatever it might be.
The trick is to learn that nothing is safe. You know, you work for yourself, you work for somebody else. You're always susceptible to something. But working for yourself, again, isn't for everyone, but for those that it is for, it's got its advantages. Like making your own hours. Oh, amazing.
Listen, man, I know you like the golf.
You
like the golf. You could work it in there.
I have not hit a snooze button in like 15 years. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I do love that because there are definitely certain mornings where I wake up and I don't have to be at the office right at 9, 10 o'clock.
Right.
And I just wake up. It's like 7:30, 8. The dog rolls over, looks at me. I go, you know what, man? Since I moved into Huntington Village especially, it's like, you know what, man? Let's go grab some coffee.
Why not?
Let's go on a nice hour walk.
Appreciate life. Live in the moment a little bit.
Exactly. Right. I walk all the way up to Prime with him, walk all the way back, get to see the scenery. Now that the leaves are changing, he's finally not dying 3 seconds into a walk from the heat because he's got a fur coat on constantly.
Right.
So it's just, it has its benefits and it has its negatives, just like anything in life.
Yeah.
So I want to get to you.
Okay.
Because you're what did Shrek say? You're like an onion. He got multiple layers.
I'm simple. My world's got multiple layers, but for me, I'm a pretty simple guy.
So where did you start? I mean, because obviously I know you from CCP, from when I was working sales. Shout out Casey, shout out Wayne, Ray, everybody over at CCP. Love the team.
Don't leave Anthony out; he'll be upset.
Listen, I was gonna say Anthony, him and I with button heads. I love Anthony so much. I tell Casey every now and then.
I told them I was all coming here. They all send regards.
Oh, you did? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I told Casey every now and then when I'm talking to him, I'll be like, yo, do you ever miss me and Anthony just button heads in the bullpen, just like, going at each other? He'd be behind me, barking at me. I'd be yelling back at him.
It's great.
Yeah.
Right.
But prior to that, obviously, you've had multiple ventures that you've been through. And how you landed in CCP, I'd love to hear. And I'm sure everybody listening can gain some wisdom from your life.
Yeah, I mean, my journey is a little different, and again, I apologize if I sound a little lethargic or nasally because 'tis the season.
That's okay. I'll boost the gain up. You'll sound buttery.
I hope I sound great, guys. So, no, truth be told, I got out of high school. I took a 1 semester of college, and I had to pay to go to class to realize that I wanted to get paid for an education I wanted versus pay for one that I didn't. And I've had every job known to man. I worked security. I worked for Carvel. I was a waiter. I was a busboy. I did it all, But that experience is of paramount importance when, I guess, in like your late teens, early 20s, you realize you want to be an entrepreneur. You want to be in business. And I didn't really have that, historical epiphany where, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a cop. I want to, whatever. There was no real one thing for me. I just knew that I wanted to be a baller. That was pretty much it. Like I just want to run shit. That was the extent of my, the makings of my entrepreneurial journey. So I got out of college. I co-developed an online marketing agency, Global Auto Sports, with my buddy Ariel Avenari. We literally started in his mother's basement, his parents' basement.
Some Apple shit right there.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Straight out of Cupertino, right? And we literally were dialing for dollars. We're competing with like Cars.com, Auto Trader. And we called up private sellers to tell them, hey, we advertise to a more focused niche that's more likely to buy, a Bentley, or a Rolls Royce or something compared with like the average car sold, which is a Ford F-150 pickup truck. So you spend a couple bucks and be showcased on our site. And we did that for about a year and a half until we got out of the basement built an office with like 12 employees and, really started to crush it. Moved on from that to take a job in the document management world with a Xerox owned company. Had a couple months of success there.
What was the need to switch? I don't mean to cut you off, but sometimes pivoting is interesting to hear about.
It was more direction, like I kind of have no ceiling. I hate the idea. Like there's a comedian, Chad Daniels, one of his stand-ups, his son has a line where he's like, hey buddy, sky's the limit. And his son goes, I don't know why they say that when there are footprints on the moon. And that's the funniest thing I think I've ever heard. And it's also true, right?
So factual.
Yeah. So I've never really had a ceiling. So, it comes down, when it comes down to it, he and I didn't really butt heads as much as we had a difference of opinion of the company's future. And I wanted to move on. I wanted to learn more and do more. So
when you say ceiling, do you mean not only financially, but also growth-wise for yourself?
More, I would say with respect to that company, it was more operational, like what we're doing, how we're doing it, what markets are we reaching out to? Do we have to stay domestic versus become an international entity? All these things constantly drive me to want to grow and improve and impress, and or historically they did, and still do. But I sidestepped because I did want to learn more. I wanted to be more and do more. And again, my chase wasn't limited to that of building a successful business. I wanted to be involved in businesses. And that's kind of where I had the idea of right around the time I took a job with a consulting firm as their managing director, was when I started raising capital mid-recession and all day just watching CNBC and the calamity that was the downfall of our modern economy. I realized that I had cultivated a solid network of investors, VC firms, PE firms, angel investors, high net worth individuals. And there was just no deals getting done because nobody wanted to shell out a buck when the market lost 55% of its value overnight, So I kind of had that issue again with, let's call it a managerial difference of opinion, where the company I was working for told me, we want to hit these deals hard and we want investors to invest in these deals. And logic took over, and I was like, this is a terrible deal to invest in. This is, whether or not I can sell somebody on something, is it right? And I would contact the network of investors that I spoke to and say, hey, my company's calling me, telling me to call you, do this deal. Don't fucking do it. It's a terrible idea. And that's how you create real relationships, because at the end of that call, they're like, hey, Matt, next time you get a solid opportunity, you give me a buzz. And I'll go with you. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate the transparency. And that's, kind of how I started in Innovative Venture Partners, cultivated a network of investors, and, just via word of mouth, started bringing a deal here, a deal there, fundraise here, fundraise there. And simultaneously, right around the time I met Ray Piskin from CCP Solutions. And, I told him I had come from the industry and I'm a cocky, arrogant little shit, but, hey, I'm a solid sales guy. I can do this in my sleep. Give me 6 months, and then I want to run the show. 2.5 months into my employ, he was like, here. And he gave me the retail business on a silver platter, and now we're one of the largest Kyocera dealers in the Northeast.
I mean, you can't make it up.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's literally a numbers game, and you have the ability to ramp them up.
Yeah.
And not everybody can do that. It's not an easy thing to do, and that's kind of something that I like to talk about. It seems and sounds easy, but it's something that does take time, practice, and a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be good with the gift of gab and being able to actually cultivate relationships, because there are so many people that hit the mark on so many areas of business, but they don't network well and they don't cultivate those relationships. And that's actually kind of something I wanted to just rewind real quick. So as you were gaining this book of business and speaking to all of these high net worth individuals and high ranking officials throughout different companies all over, networking plays the biggest role into that and creating that book. So, I mean, were you always just easy going with that? Did it always just come to you? Did it something that you had to work at? Because you're a likable guy, so it's pretty easy.
I make friends. That's a thing, and I love people. I think there are a couple characteristics that really come into play. One is you have to be fearless. And secondly, you can't ever take no for an answer. I'm fortunately both things. I have no problem failing because it's the predecessor to success. And I love people. So when somebody tells me no, I say, no, you mean yes. Let me tell you why. That's kind of my MO. And it's fun, you know. Like I think people just organically are all after the same thing. We want love. We want food, water, shelter. We want affection. We want success. Everybody wants to be empowered in some capacity, and I just try to empathize as best I can and give people what they want.
That's huge. Huge. So we're at CCP now.
Mm-hmm.
You're running CCP on the retail side of things.
Yeah.
And obviously Casey Gerhardt is one of the heavy hitters at the company. Anthony, everybody that we just mentioned.
Well, quick sidebar, you know, Casey just did that outing, which we attended. I'm not sure if you'd spoken about that in any capacity, but what an outing.
What an outing. It was phenomenal. I have not spoken about it. I haven't done a podcast since. So this is the first time in memory of Jesse, Casey's brother. Unbelievable outing. I mean, the vendors, the actual golf club. I played there once before.
Yeah, Stonebridge is a good club.
Great club. Had a great time there.
But I've never seen so many people at a golf course in my entire life. That was just insane. Fire trucks, food trucks, just fucking awesome.
It was dope.
It was awesome.
It was pulled together perfectly. I know Casey was talking to me a couple months before. He was nervous. He's like, I've never done this before. It'll all work out. And it did. It definitely did. It went off without a hitch. I mean, it was like 17 hours of shooting, and
it was incredible.
I was wiped for the next 48 hours.
Where can you go anywhere else in the world and play golf, cornhole, get wasted, have an auction, have a raffle? It was a whole day of nonstop fun. It was incredible.
How was Ray with that closest to the pin shot though?
Oh, he was awesome. All right, and a shout out to Ray Piskin. I'm sure you'll listen to this eventually. The fact that he literally was wearing a sport coat, he came in his little twinkle toe shoes, threw a ball down, paid $20 for charity, and then stuck a ball closest to the pin when people have been trying to do it all day.
And in brighter light
in the middle of the green on one shot
before any of the lights went on.
And no golf glove.
No,
he doesn't need one.
No,
right?
No, he's got the calluses of a man that's hit so many chip shots that he's just ready to go at all times.
It was awesome.
His hand is the golf glove. He's just ready to go.
Casey even said he's like, I love Ray. He's a great dude, but as soon as he stuck that pin, I was like, oh shit, just it's like an elevated love that I felt for that guy.
It was an amazing event. Casey already gave me the date for next year's, so I will 1000% be there again.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're good, baby.
Yeah,
no worries. Listen, we're real here. We're real here.
I love it.
Fuck allergies, man. We out here. We're battling the elements.
Allergies suck.
At least we didn't have like the fake winter.
Yeah.
You know how usually going from summer to fall to winter, we usually have like the fake winter. It kind of just went right in. It was like, okay, we're in fall now, and now it's kind of going, we're in winter.
So it's funny. I was listening to one of your podcasts where you're talking about seasons and why you love Long Island and why you love New York. I cannot agree with you more. The idea that everything dies for 6 months and then comes back to fruition 6 months later.
And they come back as babies.
I love it. I love it. Having seasons keeps you versatile. Yeah. It keeps you on your toes. You got to prepare for shit. Life conditions it might be nominal, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I put up a clip from my boy Zach. It might have been Zach's podcast. So I put up a clip from Zach's podcast. He was amazing, amazing guest. Mm-hmm. I put up a clip of him just talking about how he's leaving Long Island. Yeah. It got like crazy traction on TikTok. Like a lot of my clips definitely do get traction.
Right.
I've got a couple of 2.9 million ones. I've got a couple of 800,000, 50, this and that. But his got 400,000 as of this morning.
Nice.
Of him just talking about leaving Long Island, and it was such a either people love it
or hate
or
it.
they
and
hate
there's
it.
No in between.
And I'm like, listen, I get why the hate, because you grew up here, you're used to it.
Right.
You always feel like the grass is greener on the other side. You always think that if I move to California, if I move to somewhere with nicer weather, Florida, Texas, life is just going to be better. Nah, bro, same bullshit everywhere you go.
Right.
That honeymoon phase of it being a vacation place.
Right.
When you first
it dies
there,
down very quickly.
It goes quick, man. Right. Especially when the bills start to be the same.
The U.S. dollar might go a longer way in some places throughout the country. Like, I have property in Florida. I don't know if I told you this. I bought a bed and breakfast down there, which hopefully I'm getting rid of shortly. But regardless, you go down to like Pensacola, the Panhandle, the dollar goes a long fucking way down there.
Oh, yeah.
And the people are extraordinary. But that gets old really fast.
Yeah.
You want a little excitement. You need a little city fucking garbage around you to feel like you're back home. I mean, as a local, I can say that.
I need it. I need that smell every now and then when I go into the city. I just need to just drive by and
smell some garbage.
Smell a Subway in the summer when that heat really hits it and it just bakes everything. And you go, there's nothing like it.
Right. You need that nausea to appreciate like the good smelling things like rosemary and
exactly. Then when I come back onto the island and I go to 110 or rare 650, and I'm like, oh, is that thyme?
Yeah. Amazing.
So yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with locations, and obviously, I talk a lot with a lot of different guests, and everybody is from either different areas or they live here and then they move away and they come back. I don't know. It's a different vibe. It's a different beat here.
Yeah, I mean, look, I travel a lot, and you know, I've been to probably, I don't know, like 35, 40 countries. I've you know, been all over the States, and the world has a lot to offer. But at the end of the day, there's something, you know, there's something really enjoyable about coming home. Yeah, you know, and granted, I'm only home like a week out of the month, but it's still the place where I go to reset myself. And I have an office on the island. I have a place in Queens. You know, it's nice to have, you know, call it a sociological foundation, just like people around you, family around you. You know, most of my family lives in Great Neck at this point. And grew up there on the border, Great Neck, Little Neck, like Queens, Long Island. But
I love the area. I love it over there.
I think the idea of having, you know, a common clay of people that you can come back to at any given point in time is what signifies home.
Well, there's no other place in the world like Long Islanders and New Yorkers, man.
There's no other place.
I talk to the Monster Energy team from the UK all the time, and just the differences and how we speak about things. Yeah, shout out Camilla. I was talking to her, and she's one of the managers of the team over at Monster in Britain, and we were going back and forth. We met in LA for our last shoot with Rain, and we were just the differences between us and how we speak, the food differences. Like she told me something. It's called a Yorkshire pudding. Now, first off, they made fun of me because I said Yorkshire, but it's called Yorkshire. Right. Yeah. So one of the girls, when I said Yorkshire, she goes, "Don't hurt yourself. It's called Yorkshire." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, relax. Everybody just chill out." Yeah. So we're going back and forth. She's like, "Oh yeah, we make Yorkshire puddings." And I looked at her. I like looked up a message and I went.
You said, "You mean Yorkshire?"
I went, "Well, yeah, well that." And I went, "What the fuck is a Yorkshire pudding?" So she starts telling me, and I said, "Oh, it's like a Pillsbury." And she just goes, "I Googled it and I don't know what a Pillipsbury is." And I'm like, "Oh my God," I'm screaming. You called it a Pillipsbury.
Don't hurt yourself.
I said, "Oh my God, it's Pillsbury." So it's just, I love to travel. I love to experience different cultures. My boy Jay is on the podcast all the time. He's Caribbean descent, and I got a bunch of friends from Haiti, and everyone just got to hang out together, man. I feel like you don't get that anywhere else. Like you get maybe Miami, but it's mostly.
Actually, we just did a trip to Miami, and I realized, and I simultaneously going to shout out Miami, but also shit on Miami. So anybody from Miami, go fuck yourself.
All right, talk to the 304s. Let's go. Talk to the 304s.
So, you know, I recently went there with my buddy Ben, and about a year and a half ago, and I realized that we met up with a couple of our boys, went to a couple great places, you know, a few rooftop dinners, this, that, and you know, socially what I find in the community is that everybody is so keen on flaunting what they have. Whether or not it's authentic, you know, like any asshole could go rent a Ferrari and drive around for a week, and like, yeah, maybe it's fun. I think it's more fun to take it around the track personally in Vegas and like, you know, you get your RPMs up. But I find that there's a severe lack of authenticity in people's character, and so we went to a bar and we started talking to the staff, talking to the bartender, and then all of a sudden we realized we're looking around and there are people gravitating towards us, and we can't really figure out why, but I guess what we had deduced was that it's simply because we were happy, we were having fun, we weren't trying to be anything that we weren't, and that seems to be unique for downtown Miami or South Beach, wherever we were. And I wish that you know, you brought up a point about like the discussion points about leaving Long Island, right? It's either one thing or it's the other, you know, kind of like politics. It's red or blue. You know, there's no in between.
You can't decide that you're in the middle.
Right. The idea of leaving Long Island is either good or it's bad. Well, why does it have to be one or the other? And I think because we all participate on so much of one side of the coin or the other, we lose a lot, you know, of potential experience as a result because we're so busy battling each other. For what fucking purpose?
Who cares? If you want to go, go. Right. I literally did that as a response yesterday to a guy saying, you feel like you're trapped in Long Island. And I just said, I don't know what, because I hear that so often. I don't know what you feel like you're trapped in. Right. You can leave whenever. It's not that hard. Yeah. Theoretically, the hardest part is getting a new job somewhere.
Penn Station's 35 minutes from here. You're good.
Super easy. Right. We have JFK, LaGuardia, Newark. And I kind of stated all that. I said, you know, I don't know if it's because we're so accustomed to just things being a little easier in terms of the grocery stores, convenience stores. Just everything is so within arm's reach. We don't have to, like North Carolina, we don't have to drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes that way to go to like the only gas station or the only, if you're not living in a city area and you're more in the suburbs. I just find that everything is just so accessible. We have the Hamptons, we have the North Fork, we've got Boston and all the cities up north, and we have the tri-state area. What else could you ask for?
I've actually got a theory on this. Well, work with me for a second. My theory is,
give it to me.
I don't think generationally we have a real struggle. Our parents, faced the draft, World War II, or grandparents, World War I, et cetera. The Vietnam War, we don't have a real war, maybe a digital one brewing with, malware, ransomware, and shit that we need for cyber attacks. But I don't think we've got a real cultural war or struggle or anything that puts the rest of our lives in perspective. So we just bark at shit. And we find shit to complain about that isn't a real complaint. So what, you got to drive 20 miles for a gas station? Great, go drive your 20 miles and fill up on gas and appreciate you got a roof over your head, 3 meals a day. It should be that simple, but it's not. And we take to social media, we take to blogs and this and that. Everybody just wants to fight each other, and I can't for the life of me understand why.
I think it has a lot to do with, I've said this multiple times, I think this has a lot to do with the birth of social media and the birth of everyone having a voice that can be seen by millions if the right video goes viral. And then if a video goes viral, I think everybody, like, let's just say one person X has a video where they say, fuck 7-Eleven. I hate 7-Eleven. I can't stand it.
Right.
Great. Okay. Goes viral. Now they feel like, oh, people are listening.
I got to participate.
Everything, everything that annoys this person, any viewpoint that this person has, a moth flies by them. You know what? I really hate moths. It's on the internet now.
It's so ridiculous.
I need likes. I need it to be shared. I need to have, I don't know if it's the recognition portion of it or the validation of people that don't have maybe good interpersonal social skills like we do, where they actually can speak to people in real life. And instead they just speak to this electronic device where they blast their message out and they don't actually have to have real interactions with people in person.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but societal social issues are on the rise.
Yeah.
People can't have eye contact. I said this with Jamal a bunch of times.
Yeah.
People can't look at each other and have a conversation.
Right.
They either shift or they look away or, I mean, listen, you interview people for numerous jobs all the time. You could probably tell me you speak with a wide range of people from all ages. Yeah. And you've probably seen both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it has more to do with everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be heard and seen. And what they're trying to be heard or seen on doesn't have to make sense.
Right.
It doesn't have to mean anything.
They just want a platform.
They just want a platform.
Yeah.
They just want to, listen, some clips that I put up on TikTok, some clips that I put up on Instagram, are they all diamonds? No. But it keeps the content flowing and it makes people interested in seeing the full episode.
Right.
Whereas I have one guest talk about a 15-second topic and then people get riled up. Right. Oh, what? Why don't you go listen to the whole thing and you'll see that we dive into the actual topic. It's not just everybody else that just puts a 15-second clip up and then leaves you in the wind.
See, I find that that idea so time consuming. That's why I have no social media, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, no TikTok, no Snapchat, nothing. I can't do it. I find my relationships are that much more authentic. They're meaningful. But think about the time that I save, like
so much time.
So much time. I ask people, average screen time.
Let's see what average screen time is.
For the record, I just discovered that like a year ago. I didn't even know that was the thing. But it's crazy how much of our lives we invest into this. But then on the flip side, you could also, make a mirror comparison, like it's entertainment. So I watch movies, I watch television, mainly because I'm an insomniac. I guess in theory, it's kind of the same thing. It's just unfortunate that what occupies so much of our time is the battling, the back and forth bullshit. Like, watch a video, move on. I get that. But
I had said, oh, Jesus Christ. Daily average, 10 hours and 21 minutes.
Shut up.
Swear.
You see that?
Go in there. Dive in.
Oh, man.
But you also have to remember
13 hours and 16 minutes on Sunday?
Yeah.
That can't be right.
That probably. You got to realize I just sit there and I comment at people on TikTok and shit like that. My following on TikTok is way bigger than my following on Instagram.
Wild.
But if I didn't need to have all of this shit for work,
Yeah.
for my videos, for the podcast, stuff like that, I would be in your situation. I wouldn't have any of it.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, mind you, that is your world, and I can understand
yes,
that from a...
that's the only reason. I mean, that's really the only reason I'm
from
on
a
it.
capitalistic perspective, it makes total sense.
I get business on them. I link up with I have tons of other videographers and friends that are constantly hitting me up, asking me questions about, advice, or they want to know something about a piece of gear, whatever it is. I try to help out where I can. And then obviously we have actual phone calls, text messages.
Yeah.
So it adds up very quick.
Yeah.
Am I proud of that number? Absolutely not.
So let me ask you a question, because you do so much interviewing, and I feel like we should flip the script a little bit, So let me ask you a couple questions.
Ask me.
So you fell in love with the notion of production when? You decided you want to be in production as of when? Like, what was there a moment? Was there that epiphany you had?
I had zero interest in ever using a camera. None. Never anticipated I'd be doing what I do. The way that I got into all this, which has been discussed on way earlier episodes, so I'm always happy to retouch it for new listeners and whatnot. The way I got into this was I was 270 pounds pre-diabetic back in high school, and I dropped to 190 in a summer from 10th to 11th grade.
For those who can't see Nick, he is beefcaking really hard right now.
I'm
guys.
thick with like 3 C's right now. I got to unthick myself. I really do. I got to unthick. It's going to be a long.
You look great, man.
Thank you. It's going to be a long winter. I look good when I got my Spanx on and my corset on. Everything's tight. So basically, I competed twice in bodybuilding in 2013, 2014, and I became friends with a lot of professional bodybuilders through Bev Francis Powerhouse Gym. Just like you with networking. Became very cool with a lot of people. I think mainly because I'm just authentic, and I'm just. If the energy and the vibes match, I'm there. But if they don't, and someone's an asshole or something, I'm good. Like, I don't want to. I'm not going to willingly spend my time on, for, or with somebody that isn't, number one, appreciative of the time that we're spending,
right?
And just a genuine individual. Just not in the cards for me.
And you can find all those things there, I guess.
Yeah, you could find a very wide plethora of humans and individuals at that gym.
Sure can.
And gyms in general. So I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I wanted to start a YouTube channel where I can not only give advice to individuals on training and what I experienced as a natural athlete competing in a league that doesn't test for steroids.
Right.
And I wanted to just talk about my struggles, what I've gone through, and then have these people come on. Because if you've ever been to a fitness convention, the lines to speak to one person is wild.
Out the door.
It's wild.
I saw one in Vegas. I couldn't walk in because it was.
It's insane. So just to have 3 minutes, if you're even granted that. Now I shoot with Kai Green a lot, so I get to see he really does take his. If I don't tell him we got to move on, he'll spend a half hour, 45 minutes with one fan.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's an awesome individual, but you have to tell him because the line is around the corner.
Right.
You're like, we gotta keep going. So people wait all day just to get that maybe minute interaction with this person that they idolize from a magazine, social perspective, or from the stage, from competing. And it could be a number of things at this point. It could be just the person's a complete package. You love their physique, you love the way they train, you love their personality and the content that they put out. I need to meet this person, and they're going to be at X expos this year. I'm going to go to this one. A lot of people don't have the money sometimes to travel to these expos. So I wanted to sit down because I have so many friends that are big names and just talk and interact with them and get questions from people. And like, if you're a fan of my buddy Arash, when he was still living in New York, Arash was one of the best classic physique competitors ever. If you wanted to ask Arash a specific question, you have a little guy, because I don't have a huge account, and I don't care how big or small my account. Dude, I got 32,000 followers on TikTok. To me, that's like nothing still. I don't even care. Like, I'm a little fish. But people can still interact with me and get to these people.
Right.
And ask the questions that they want to ask.
Right.
Arash, what do you think about eating fish this many weeks out? What do you think about cardio? Just getting a different perspective from these people that you either see their video that they put on Instagram where you don't get to interact with them, or you just get to see them compete where you don't get to interact with them again. Or you went and shook their hand for 1 minute, and that was it. That's the only interaction you got with them.
So what do you find the most rewarding element of what you do?
Well, so it started out like that, and then I asked my dad to get me a camera for Christmas. He didn't get me anything for my birthday. He said, I want to get you something for both. And I said, you know what? I'll get a cheap camera. I said, I'll start doing some vlogs and stuff like that. And he just goes, okay, cool. Got me the camera.
Nice.
I started messing around with it, learning a little bit about how to do it. And then my ex-girlfriend at the time asked me for a video at the gym. She said, you could practice your editing, this and that. Cool. Did a video for her at the gym. Then the supplement company started hitting me up. Then the athletes started asking me, all my friends. Right. So it turned from me wanting to be technically speaking on the other side of the camera to I'm cool with being behind it.
Yeah.
Because now I get to showcase amazing people, companies, physiques, this and that.
Right.
I think I'll give you an example of what I love, the things that I love to hear when I do. There are so many videographers. There are so many photographers. So to stand out, you have to truly have your own style. You have to be really good with your clients and customers. And you just have to always be a student like we started with.
Right.
There's always new techniques, always new pieces of gear, always new something to learn and to advance your career forward. So what I get the most joy out of is when people spend a good chunk of change on bringing me out to shoot for their company, shoot videos for them, whatever it might be, when there's a return on that. Because in retrospect, that's really what it is. It's a business for them as well.
Value in what you do.
There's an ROI.
Right.
So they're not just bringing me out and spending this money just to have fun.
Right.
Like, that's great, and I appreciate that. But I also feel like most videographers don't think like that. They think that, oh, yeah, we're going to create a banger video. Nah,
Right.
bro. You are there to raise awareness to this person's business, physique, to increase their sales for coaching, to bring more traffic through their door, to raise awareness for a new product that they've created. There's a reason they brought you in.
Right.
And you have to make sure that they understand the deliverables that you're going to give them, that there is some type of a plan in order. You know, there's so many shoots for years that we just went with the flow and like that was it. Now I do shot lists, man.
Yeah, but by proxy, I'm sure you learn along the way what to do and what not to do.
You learn a lot on the way.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that I never had. There are a lot of people that ask me questions, which I'm cool with. I don't mind sharing some knowledge as long as sometimes it just eats up my time. And I just tell people, I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and walk you through content that you need to make, gear that you need to purchase, how to get clients or price. You got to just, I'll help you here and there.
You got to manage time and expectation. I get
Exactly. I got to worry about myself and what I'm doing. Right. So you asked what the most gratifying thing with what I do. My end goal, which isn't even an end goal because it's just something that I want to continue from, I want to shoot movies. I want to shoot productions, like real big productions. I want to be a director of photography, and I want to be the guy behind the camera shooting and have my team create the vision for the actual director. That's what I want to do.
Interesting.
But my buddy Anthony, who I've been doing videos with recently for his construction company, we've been documenting the process of some of the jobs that he has. So what they're doing in terms of refinishing basements because there was a flood, or what they're doing for reworking an entire kitchen. And since then, I think he's got a couple of $100,000 jobs that he just reeled in from seeing the ads that he's running from the videos. Yeah. And I think he just signed like a couple of $1 million house that he's building from the ground up.
For him.
That's what I love that.
Yeah.
Because I love making money. And I've told this to clients before. I love making money and I love working with great clients. But if it's a waste of time for both of us, I don't care what I'm getting paid.
Right.
It's not worth it. I could spend my time doing something else.
Yeah.
So in reality, the money is great, but I'll get 10 other jobs.
Yeah.
So time is of the essence for all of us. So when I hear that there's a big return on things that we planned out, that we shot, that we did, I love it.
Yeah. Impact.
I love that.
Impact. Yeah.
And then listen, the podcast too. The podcast, I don't make any money on the podcast. I just started talking to people about endorsements for it, sponsorships and whatnot.
Right. This podcast should have been sponsored by Vicks Sinex Severe, but it's not. I'm just using it because it's incredible. But shout out Vicks in case you want to hit up our boy Rizzles.
Vicks, send the check to my man, but then he's going to send it right back because he's just going to buy the entire stock out.
I'm going to buy 3 lifetime supplies.
That's it.
Can't get enough. It's so good. Saving my life today, guys. Go out and get your Sinex. I swear, there's no plug. Nobody's getting paid for it. Nobody's getting paid for this shit right now, but we should be.
We're getting paid for this, or at least to have them send us a case, and I'll just keep it on the table.
Yeah.
So the podcast is a really good passion of mine. I love sitting down with amazing people. I love sitting down and just speaking about stories.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that hit me up and they're like, I'd love to come on the podcast and talk about some things that I've gone through in life, but I feel like I'm not famous or I'm not well known enough. And I go, I don't need famous people. I don't want anybody that has millions of followers. That's not what I'm after. Yeah. I'm after authentic, genuine people
I also feel like you could ultimately find maybe 1 or 2 people that are, whether or not they're avid listeners or just listening or tuning in, But I'm a big fan of impact, and movement. And I think you create a movement by getting one person to feel differently and feel more positive and impacted by your podcast and feel positive about their lives. And then they go out and they take that and they can teach a village. I don't necessarily think you need 50 million followers. You don't need to be Kim Kardashian. You need to impact one person that becomes the next Kim Kardashian. Why not?
No, I agree wholeheartedly. And that's kind of what I've done with this and why I want to just continue amazing guests like you that have gone through so much throughout.
Thanks,
nah, for real, man. I ain't gassing you up and stroking the ego. I'm telling you, dude, it's just authentic individuals. It shows when someone, and luckily I haven't really had any people that aren't, because I got a good screening process. Mm-hmm. I won't have people on that I don't like. So it's like when I can sit down with somebody and they can shed light on certain things. You gave your whole background of stories and growth and networking, just the start. And we still have more to talk about. Mm-hmm. That could have helped somebody that's going through the same shit right now.
I hope it does.
Building a company in their basement. Who the hell knows? This gives people something to look forward to. Life goes by quick, dude.
Yeah.
It goes by quick, but it also goes by slow. And we have so much more time left to do amazing things. So when we can cultivate the mindset and have people understand that they're not alone if they're going through a struggle,
right, or
that there are dark days and there are days that suck, but you'll get better and the days will be fine at some point.
Yeah.
It's peaks and valleys. Yeah. I tell this to a lot of my buddies all the time that go through shit with work. One of my friends constantly has issues. He's on top of the mountain and then he's on the bottom of the fucking valley. And it's so cyclical with him. And I try to tell him, like, dude, you gotta just batten down the hatches. At this point, you've been dealing with it for years with the industries, different industries he's been in.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, man, those shitty days make the good days that much better.
Right. Always easier said,
Without question.
It's very hard to stomach, losses and defeat and stress, but you're absolutely right. The life requires balance, but yeah. That's all I got on the subject.
I think you're going with something else.
You know what I had on my mind is one of these rain drinks.
Go grab one.
I'm going to.
Yeah, which one do you want?
I don't know. That's fine.
You got the orange dreamsicle. Orange dreamsicle. You got the white gummy bear, which is pineapple.
I am trying orange dreamsicle.
Shouts to Rain. First and foremost, I always love shouting out Rain for numerous reasons. Drank them way before I started shooting videos for them. But
oh fuck, that's delicious.
That's good, right?
Oh wow.
But
I'm not gonna lie, that caught me by surprise. It's really good. I think I tried the gummy bear at the event, but I was completely
sherbet
at the outing. Oh,
rainbow
no.
sherbet.
I took a sip of white gummy. Was it gummy?
No,
bear?
it was the
White
sherbet
gummy?
I gave you a sip of.
Are you sure?
No.
Whatever it was. Whatever it was, I was way too wasted.
Yeah.
And I kind of glossed over it, but this is fucking delicious.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the boys over at Rain. They're awesome individuals, especially the fact that I just hit them up with charity events that I wind up being a part of. And they're like, sure, where do we send the drinks? Like, they're just
sick.
They're just awesome. They're just good people, and I'm really glad that I got involved with them. So shouts to Rain as usual. I appreciate them.
Shouts to Rain. Hey, what's this called? Orange Dreamsicle. What a fucking name.
Yeah.
Tastes like a dream.
It does.
That's fucking delicious.
All right, so now the mixture of Vicks and Rain in your system is going to create
a lot better.
Oh, it's a podcasting monster.
I mean, it's not going to help my child's bladder. I'm going to get up in 5 minutes, but that's fine.
Oh, it's over. Once the caffeine hits you, that's it. It's over.
Yeah. All this gym talk is making me realize I've gone 48 hours with allergies and haven't hit the gym, and now I'm starting to I'm kind of getting a little.
Oh, you get the itch in the back of your head. You're just like, oh, I really got to go.
Yeah, it's bad.
I really got to go.
It's shoulder day.
I love that.
Shoulders and traps.
I love that for you. Yeah. I've been doing Squat-tober.
Squat-tober.
I've been doing Squat-tober. Sorinex Strength. They're
nice.
An amazing strength and conditioning company. They make a lot of amazing equipment that's utilized at the collegiate level for racks and barbells and weights and just everything. They're a rogue competitor.
Okay.
But every October they do Squat-tober, and then they do Dead-cember for deadlifting in December.
Nice.
And so it's just they team up with a company called Pen and Paper Strength app, I think it's called, and they basically just make strength and conditioning programs.
Yeah.
So I was doing great up until the middle of my back and I don't even think it was from the squats. The middle of my back just decided it's a good time that we just don't feel well. So
shit.
I went to the chiro the other day. I went to Derlin. Everybody that listens religiously knows Derlin Castro. So I went to Derlin. He popped my ribs back in. My left rib cage was it was just poking in.
I've had that injury.
Ooh, so he popped that back out. I wish he gave me a little bit more of an adjustment in the middle of my back because I definitely feel it still.
Yeah.
But I also got my man Scott, Savage Physique Doc or Physio Doc, whatever the hell his name is on Instagram. Scott's phenomenal. He'll work you for an hour and a half with his elbows digging into your scapula.
Yeah.
Oh, you feel like $1 million bucks.
You know what the irony is? I don't like people touching my back. So I actually had a major back injury. I think I told you this, like back in the day.
No.
So I ruptured 2 discs in my lower back, L3 and 4 and 4 and 5, between L3 and 4 and 4.
I have L5, S1 herniations.
Yeah. So it actually took me 6 months to learn how to walk again. It was really rough.
What was that from?
So I was shrugging when I was 19 years old. I was about 235 pounds. I mean, I wasn't, I was jacked. I mean, no juice, no, poison, none of that. So I would say, but it's no, really. I tried to do it naturally, and I was shrugging about 450 pounds, and I didn't even feel it at first. I go to the park to go talk to one of my buddies, and I turned my head, and I just collapsed, and I crawled to my shitty Scion XB at the time. I had a little toaster on wheels, and I drove myself to the ER. Got the results, and then I went to what did I go to? 2 orthopedic surgeons who gave me the same diagnosis. They're like, yeah, you have 2 discs that you ruptured in your back, and you gotta have surgery. And they both told me the same thing. You could either have the surgery to walk, but you'll never really be a full-fledged athlete again, or you could do nothing and you'll never walk right again. And I didn't like my options, so it took 6 months in bed to learn how to teach myself to walk, and I did it without any surgery. I'm back in the gym. I'm doing 2-a-days. I still play sports. I play basketball, tennis, all the above.
How have you felt
Amazing.
since?
Amazing.
Was
no flare-ups, no issues, no nothing. I stay light on my toes. I work out 2.5 hours a day, about 4 or 5 days a week. Mixture of weightlifting, cardio, endurance, etc. But I feel amazing.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Right.
I have L5, S1 herniations, and they absolutely destroyed me when I was 19 years old. I was getting crazy sciatic pain down both sides, radiating down both my legs. Mm-hmm. And then I wound up speaking at the age of 24. I wound up speaking to the doctor down in Florida that I'm very close with. If he comes up in December, he's actually the doctor that coached me after I dealt with the guru in the industry to compete. And he not only fed me, he had me looking like a tank. I mean, I was 190 pounds, just shredded, looking insane. And he told me, he's like, yo, you have to build up your glute, hamstring strength, and lower back strength, and that pain will go away. Yeah. He had me deadlifting like 3 times a week. He had me squatting, compound movements. Never looked or felt better in my life. Yeah. No pain in my back, no nothing. The kid was just a tank. I got to show him. Kid was a tank. Where is it? I was talking to him the other night. He's phenomenal, James.
While you're searching that, I'm going to break.
Break it off, baby.
You got it.
He goes child bladder. He's awesome.
What flavor?
You know what? I'm going to grab a gummy bear. I haven't had one in man long.
Gummy bear.
White gummy bear. The boys at Rain.
This is a great setup.
I love it, man. Just wait until the next studio, bro, when I get to actually paint the walls the color that I want. And it's going to be awesome. I have a bunch of canvases, motivational canvases that I purchased because I thought I was getting a larger space in Huntington. Yeah. And the guy wound up being an asshole. And that wasn't a...
No bueno.
No, it wasn't good. That's what he had me looking at 190.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude. That was from an off season. So we did a proper... Yeah, we did a proper... recomp.
You got veins coming out the shoulder.
Yeah, that was off season, dude.
Striations.
Yeah, that was off season.
Yeah.
So he had me looking like a tank naturally. Yeah. So I need to get back to that by next summer.
I had no idea you were that large.
Oh yeah. No, I look larger than that.
Good for you, bro.
And then this is what we. You know what? That's what he had me looking like 6 weeks out.
What was it?
6 weeks out from the show.
That's after the fact. Wow.
Yeah, had me killing it. I was 168 pounds there.
What were you eating?
Honestly, very flexible. He had me doing something like I think I was doing like 45 minutes of cardio a week.
That's it.
All food. He was killing.
That's crazy.
No, he was unbelievable to work with.
See, my diet is shit. I eat whatever I want, but I work out like a maniac, so I kind of burn it all off. But
Imagine if you didn't eat everything in sight.
well, you remember my diet. Like for breakfast, I would get like an egg sandwich and like a Snickers or M&Ms, and for lunch it would be like crumb cake from Kenya's around the corner or whatever. I can't stop eating shit. I love it.
I mean, it's delicious.
That's the ironic thing in life is like the best tasting things are the worst for you.
The absolute worst for you.
And that's the balance. It's important.
Yeah, I mean, if I had it my way, I'd just be slamming down Sour Patch Kids all day.
It'd be amazing.
Oh yeah,
You look like shit.
Oh, look like absolute garbage. There was the last couple of weeks, I think I consumed alcohol every single night, and I could tell.
Yeah.
Like I looked it, I was like, I gotta slow down.
So when you were in the office with like 2018, 2019, I was probably drinking like a bottle of scotch a day,
Basically,
like
yeah.
that.
You always had one in the office.
I've now since limited myself to maybe getting drunk only 2 days a week. So in 2019, turn of the year 2020, I decided to start doing 2 days because I wanted to train for an Ironman, which I can't compete in unfortunately because my knee is just busted. So I'm going to have another orthoscopic surgery probably in like the month or two ahead. But I physically feel so much better.
Oh, I'm sure.
Running an hour a day, lifting an hour, 15 hour, 30 a day. I mean, even with the shitty diet or lack thereof, I feel incredible.
It plays
There's something to be said about physical fitness and how it amplifies and emphasizes all the other things in your life. It really feels great.
Well, I mean, think about all the most successful people in the world.
Yeah.
I guess besides Warren Buffett.
Right.
And Bill Gates. I feel like their fitness routine isn't really that impeccable.
I mean, Buffett eats cheeseburgers and drinks a Coke for breakfast. So
every morning.
How fit can the guy be? Not very.
Maybe that the inside's probably rotten in and out. It's not great. But
I'm afraid to know what my liver looks like for sure. But
I mean, listen, you scale it back so it regenerates. Give it a couple more years, and it should be back to when you were 23.
Right. Look, my liver's either made of coal or diamonds. It's like it's one or the other. There's no in between.
Filtering everything out. Just amazing. I was doing great. Squattober, doing great.
Nice.
I got to go to more than likely. I think it's like 99% sure. I always say because unless I get the tickets, I don't say I'm actually going. But I got Dubai next week, so
nice.
I hope I get to train at O2.
You know what I'm going to ask you to do then? I'm going to ask you to upload a video to DareYou for Squattober for Stacey's Warriors, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want you to get a couple people to start uploading videos to DareYou for it.
It's on the App Store.
If you can create a challenge or a dare called Squattober, I will participate in it. I'm going to blur my face, obviously, because I hate my face.
It's DareYou?
That's correct.
Cool. Got it.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's a fun one. A couple years in the making, but we're getting there.
Downloading. So why don't we jump into that? So this is the newest venture.
One of
the newest ventures.
The newest, but definitely one
of the newest
yeah.
newer ventures that are coming to fruition now.
Yeah.
So why don't you break it down for me? How'd you get involved with it? How'd you get started?
It's pretty simple, actually. I saw the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge and I was blown away. The engine that exists through 6 degrees of separation, where any challengee or challenger said, I challenge you, and you to do this. And then all of a sudden 3 people becomes 9 people, becomes 27 and 81 and so on and so forth. That 6 degrees separation mentality is something that I wanted to bottle into a digital application. And the original iteration was called Aware. So the company that owns DareYou is one of my firms, Aware Project LLC. And I love the idea of creating a platform where people can facilitate challenges directly on their phone. You could select contacts from your contact list within your peer group and then dare challenge them to do something directly. But I didn't like 2 things about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Number one, it was relegated to just the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. And secondly, there are do-gooders out there, which I'm passionate about the whole do-gooder community that want to bring, eyes and an audience to a cause, but that also actually donate time and money to that cause. I had friends from back in the day who were like, yeah, I'm doing the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge and I'm donating $5,000. Fuck, you don't have $500 to your name. I know you're full of shit. So separating the herd of real do-gooders versus, people who are just looking for social notoriety was of significant importance to me. And I wanted to create something that brought eyes and ears to a real good, do-gooder universe, and that's what we've attempted to create. So what's interesting is, you think about like TikTok historically. If you create a dare or a challenge, YouTube, TikTok, whatever your platform you're using, you don't really get notoriety as the creator of a dare or challenge.
Yeah, you never know who started the actual thing.
In this case, you do. So we're trying to bring some notoriety to, people who are influential and utilizing our platform to create something that's going to have a dramatic impact financially and, sorry
That's
about
okay.
that. Financially and bring eyes to a charity, a platform, a cause, what have you. And so I wanted the DareYou app to encompass any and all challenges and challengers and challengees and not be limited to one charity or one cause. And so we're essentially, a free range platform that's taken all comers.
Cool.
That's pretty much it.
So now, can you integrate the actual charities inside the app?
Yes, that's what we're doing now.
Okay, so would it be
for instance,
GoFundMe or?
Well, so for instance, like this past Sunday was the breast cancer walk at Jones Beach, and we teamed up with Stacy from Stacy's Warriors, who's in partnership with Sloan Kettering. So for the breast cancer walk, we had some T-shirts made with QR codes, DareYou, Stacy's Warriors, co-branded, etc. And one thing that picked up really quickly was like the marshmallow challenge. A bunch of people shoving marshmallows in their face. How many can you get in? And the cause being Stacy's Warriors. We raised like $2,000 in a couple hours. It was awesome.
We talking about mini marshmallows. We're talking about real marshmallows.
No, real size marshmallows. They're like those megalodons. I've only seen them in movies. But
if you came to my house and my hot chocolate cup in January.
I don't know why they make those gigantic marshmallows. They don't make those gigantic fucking graham crackers. That's what they should be doing, is like a s'mores contest. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right.
I would be a customer because I'm a fat fuck.
I'm thinking big. I'm thinking big marshmallows. I'm thinking I need it in the hot chocolate, a vat of hot chocolate.
Oh, it'd be amazing. Cadbury makes those like duty free sized, those big ass bars. Yeah, like yay big. My mother, actually, she was cool. She used to bring those back from her travels all the time when I was a kid. But problem is, I'd eat them because I was a fat kid who liked chocolate.
Me too.
Am I not going to eat that bar? Of course.
No, I'm going to eat the whole fucking bar in one sitting. Why would I wait? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to delay my gratification of eating the entire bar for another day? No, I'm going to eat everything right now.
Of course.
One sitting.
So segueing back to this, the challenge specifically for whatever the challenge is, the marshmallow challenge, the push-up challenge, this, that, it's all right now gearing towards Stacy's Warriors because we wanted to, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, create a sprint to raise them awareness and raise them money. And we just started this past Sunday, and we're gonna, slowly but surely start to incorporate additional charities and additional causes. So I'm good friends with Rich and Mike K from Pink Tie. Shout out to those boys. And we're onboarding them as an additional charitable platform who are also, breast cancer centric. And we're hopefully going to be in discussions with a few unnamed, just for non-disclosure reasons. I'm not sure if I can actually divulge.
Cool people.
Yeah, whatever.
Cool people.
Cool people say cool people. We're gonna, slowly but surely start to onboard local charities and hopefully geographically and organically grow outward. See what happens.
That's amazing. It's a great app with a great cause, and that's what you want. You want to raise. Unfortunately, the attention goes to some of the negative shit on the internet, like we were just talking about earlier, and the bantering and the back and forth and the my side is right. Really, what we should be doing is rallying around causes like this, rallying around things that help people that are going through shit.
So now I'm not going to lie to you.
The
nature of the app. DareYou.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just as scandalous as it sounds. I mean, people are going to get hurt. I don't want that. By the way, this is a disclosure statement. No lewd or inappropriate behavior or potentially harmful behavior. We mean that. So
keep that for OnlyFans. Different app.
Like case in point, we did like a belly flop challenge. You know what really gets people watching videos? Squeamish videos when people
popping a pimple,
scare
or
someone, popping a pimple, belly flop, people getting hurt, things that make it those organic reactions where you see something in society that makes you really like react.
Yeah.
You couple that with a good cause, good people, I feel like it's just a recipe for success. And again, it's not meant to really monetize anything. I'm not after the cultivation of this app for money. I want it to do good. I want it to have an impact, and I want it to, create a new movement of that do-gooder mentality.
Multi-faced.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you can have fun, but you're also doing it for the positivity of the raising.
Well, that's what I loved about Ice Bucket. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge created what, like 150 million in a month or 2 months or whatever it was, and that was all via YouTube. I mean, it was extraordinary, and it created awareness, it created money, and a couple buckets of ice water on your head never really hurt anybody. I was fascinated by it, and I wanted to bottle that.
How much did ALS Ice Bucket raise? More than 115 million was
15
raised.
million, excuse me.
115 million was raised with the trend. And the ALS Association said it is funding 130 research projects in 12 different countries, as well as 40 potential treatments that are in development.
It's incredible.
It's fucking awesome.
It's awesome.
Listen, my dad has MS, so I'd love to do something with MS related.
Done.
Start doing something
Done
like
and
that.
done.
That'd be amazing. I have to introduce you to Marina. Marina has been a guest on that. She's a good friend of mine, phenomenal individual. She told her story. She got a double mastectomy, so breast cancer especially is huge for her, and raising awareness in terms of you're not alone as a woman if you have to go through something like that. She opted for it because she kept getting biopsies.
Right.
Everything kept coming back negative and benign, but it didn't matter. She was tired of being a pincushion because she had the mutated BRCA gene. So she just decided to just opt for the double mastectomy, and she talked about pre, during, and post-op on the podcast, and it was rough, man. Yeah. So I just think raising awareness in that aspect also helps, and having someone who has gone through it to be a spokesperson for you. So
so my Aunt Gail was diagnosed about 14, 15 years ago. She beat it. She had 5 nodes removed, and then she was on tamoxifen and all these drugs that are really challenging, and it was really hard for her. Now it's back. Her cancer came back, spread to the bones. With whatever details that I won't overemphasize, but it's terrible. And the fact that I think it's 80+% of all patients, all cancer survivors, it comes back. It's brutal. Money awareness and care and concern, creates solutions. And I'm a solutions guy, that.
Yeah.
I love the idea of bringing eyes to a platform that's trying to, actually improve the quality of people's lives. It's that simple.
Love that, man.
Yeah, man.
So and besides that, I mean, you told me how to download it. I know we already said it. Mm-hmm. Just DareYou on the App Store.
Yeah, go to the App Store. DareYou.
Is that the only social media you have?
So I have a page, but my face isn't on it. Like I have a profile, but I can't.
I'm gonna take your face is gonna be all over the internet after this. That's it. If people are looking for you, they know where to find you now.
I demand this be blurred.
Oh, never, never. There's no Gaussian blurs on this one.
There's no going back from this.
No, that's it. And I'm gonna take a picture of you before you leave, so it's over for you. I'm gonna have a picture of you up there. Be like, I'm trying to click on this.
You have a face for TV. I don't. I don't translate well.
Let me slim out. Let me negate 10 pounds, and then this face will come back, and I'll get a little bone structure.
So Wayne's daughter, Paige Piskin, who did the shout out to Paige Piskin. What's up? She cultivated like over 1 million followers overnight with the not the skins, the filters, right? Yep. Those Instagram filters. I need one of her filters. If you can give me some rouge over here and stuff, I'm like,
all right, maybe. I'll color grade you.
Great.
I'll just put a clown. I'll put a what is it? What's his name?
Krusty?
No, Krusty, classic clown.
The guy from It.
Joaquin Phoenix. I'll put the Joaquin Phoenix amazing. Joker makeup Joker on you. Yeah, is he interviewing the Joker? That's fucking crazy. He's like, and they're just sitting there. DareYou.
Right.
Like what?
I'm lazy when it comes to accessorizing. Like case in point, for last Halloween, somebody convinced me to dress up. They're like, you need to dress up for this party. You know what I went to the party as? The Big Lebowski. So
that's
I literally
fantastic.
I threw on a cardigan and I was drinking White Russians.
Done.
But I didn't change anything about my physical appearance.
I am the same exact way for Halloween. Right. It's not that I don't like Halloween. I can't be bothered to participate in getting a costume and dressing up and figuring it. I have too many friends that they're all about it.
Yeah.
Every year, I just ordered my costume, this and that. It's like, dude, you're a grown-ass man. Mm-hmm. So I just go every year as either a Best Buy associate or an Apple associate because I have my old shirts.
Yeah.
So I switch off. I think I was an Apple associate last year, so I'm going back as a Best Buy. I got my polo. Done. Sold.
I can't do dress up. I actually, tomorrow night, I have to wear a tux. It's the Ohika Castle LIE gala tomorrow at, I think, 5:30. and they mandate you wear a tuxedo. And the only way I can gain access is if I wear a tux. I mean, that's not true because I know Gary from Mohica. He's a good
I know
guy.
Gary too.
Yeah, and I could always just like pop on in. But if I really want to like sit down at this dinner, I need to wear a tux. I think I'm gonna do it.
Listen,
I'm actually gonna do it.
My buddy wears sweats that look like dress pants to work all day. So you could probably just get a sweatsuit that looks like a tux as long as no one touches you.
That's an amazing invention.
Yeah, we should do that.
I'm in.
Just like that. Quick story before we disband. Yeah. Gary, I was there for a meeting at Mohica a while ago, and he invites people onto his private patio every now and then to come smoke cigars and hang out. So we invited our group. My mom knows Gary well as well, and we went onto the patio. He comes down with literally a bag of cigars, and he just dumps them on the table, and he goes, "Have at it." I went, "Well, which one is the one you recommend?" He goes, "No." He goes, "I just smoke them." Like, what? He has no idea.
Gary's a good guy.
He's a very good guy.
Such a sweet guy.
Yeah.
Good times.
So listen, Matt, I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Dude,
good times.
Next time you got to bring friends. We're going to have even bigger party. No Vic, so we'll have to find another sponsor for the next podcast. We can go back to Rain.
Yeah.
We go right back to Rain. It's a co-sponsored event on this one.
Hey, before we sign off, I do have a question for you. Do you have any other projects that you're working on that we can build some general awareness for, that we can throw into the portfolio, that we can help you out with? What are you working on? I don't want to leave this podcast without, or this recording, whatever. I don't know what the phraseology is. Fuck you.
Podcast.
Fuck you. So I don't want to leave this table and this microphone until we bring some awareness to your world. What's going on, Nick?
You know what? I got a lot of client work. I don't have any passion projects that I'm running right this second. Okay. I'm probably gonna, in the next 6 months, I would like to do something in terms of submitting something to Sundance.
Yeah.
What that is, I don't know. If it's going to be like a biopic for bodybuilders, if it's in the fitness world, maybe the dark side that they don't talk about. Or I've also done, I do a lot of work with this dude Popo, very, very well-known guy from China, tattoo artist, phenomenal.
I need a new tattoo artist.
I will give you his I will give you his information. Right. He's phenomenal. So
my last 3 fled the country, went to jail, and something I don't know. But I need a guy.
I got you.
Does he make house calls?
He might. He might make house calls. I can definitely ask
Popo, I'm coming.
Popo's coming on the podcast. We're gonna do some stuff. So you know what? I think I've been so focused on my client work, my retainer clients, just monthly clients that I have right now, the podcast. I think just in terms of what you guys can help me out with, it's not even on the video side because, obviously we'll network, and if there's people that need video content, you have me and this and that. But I think just getting more amazing guests for the podcast. You have a big network.
Done.
I think just raising awareness and getting topics that people can learn and grow from. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
I mean, I love what you do. I really do. I didn't have enough time to listen to them all, but
that's
I listened to a handful of your podcasts, and they're the episodes, and they're terrific.
I appreciate, dude.
You guys talk about real shit, and I think it's impactful.
I appreciate the hell out of that. So, for real. It's just I want to be genuine. I just want to be authentic, and I did 60 episodes with another buddy of mine. We had a podcast together that ran for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then we disbanded that. Then I did 11 episodes with my buddy Tyler. Okay. We disbanded that. And then I had a couple other people that said they wanted to start something with me. And I just said, I'm not going to do another show that I'm joined with somebody else. And then if it falls apart, I have to start a whole new show. I said, I'm just going to do my show. And if you guys want to come on as regular guests, we're more than happy to do segments.
I can keep you busy with some really intriguing people for a while. About 10, 12 names come to mind immediately. I will send them your way. 1,000%.
Done. Sold.
Yeah.
Anyway, big Matt Vogel, I appreciate you for
Thanks,
real.
Brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for gracing me with your presence.
Thanks for the rain.
Oh, please. We got a full fridge of them. As many as you would like. And this is episode 38. I didn't put
Doesn't matter. Make it up.
Whatever episode. It's an important one with great stuff. Make sure you tag me when you download DareYou and you start talking and challenging all your friends for hopefully good things.
Yeah.
But if not, it's okay. We'll accept that side too.
You know what I really want to do? I actually do have a challenge for you. Next month, we're going to go donate blood.
Oh.
Are you squeamish?
I need to donate blood to get this iron out of me, but I'm so afraid of needles.
Oh, perfect. That's why it's going to be a hit.
Want to.
That's why it's going to be a hit. That's why it's going to be a hit.
Don't make me pass out.
The month of November, we're going to donate blood.
Okay, fine.
Both of us. I'll even do it with you, but I'm going to blur my face.
But your whole face is out there now.
Shit.
All right, so so November we'll figure it out. I gotta get back from Dubai. We got couple of clients. I got to get my surgery, which I'll talk to you about again, which I told you last time, which everybody knows anyway. But anyway, on that note, appreciate y'all.
Thanks for having me.
Peace.
Ciao.